Hi, so you're probably wondering where have I been? Um, I've had some stuff going on in real life. I know I always say that, but no, I've had some real stuff going on. And basically it's been some health stuff, but I'm feeling better now and I'm doing a bit better now. So I thought, why not get back to this playthrough I was doing. I am on a whole new system. I am proud to say I've upgraded my PC. I'm really happy with it. I was able to try out Cyberpunk with it. I'm probably not going to do a Cyberpunk playthrough at all, though, on my channel because I actually stopped playing Cyberpunk after a few days and I haven't touched it again. I'm just not that into it. I don't know. I guess it's just not a game that is really something I would enjoy sitting down and playing. Unless I'm really, I don't know, I guess in the mood too. So yeah, that's about everything new with me. And, well, yeah, that's the update and the apology. Sorry again, I haven't uploaded anything, but I want to get back on this series and finish it. I want to see what happens. And I'm falling behind, so let's get to it, and I hope that you stick around. Welcome back to my playthrough of Vampire the Masquerade, Shadows of New York. It's been a while since I've done this intro. Alright, we were meeting Mia. I remember this. I don't remember any of the voices I did, so this will be fun. I remember Julia's. Let's see. I've never met her before, but if I had to describe her in 2 words, by her aura alone, I guess those words would be permanently angry, even more so than your average anarch. You must be Catherine Weiss. And you must be Mia Morgan. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. The pleasure's mutual. This your girl, Julia Sawitsky, the La Sombra Primogen. The La Sombra representative. I correct her automatically. At this point, it's a habit. Good. If you were a Primogen, I might have tried to kill you here and now. Is Torque still on the site? Nah, I told him I'd take it from here. By the end of tonight, he needs to look like a natural candidate for the leader of the NYC Anarchs. It's gonna take a lot of driving around and negotiations. I don't know what that voice is, but there you go. That's the voice. How did he react to finding Callahan's remains? He hasn't exactly elaborated on his feelings, but I expect he reacted the same way every true believer in the cause did. It's the complicated mess of all the possible feelings under the moon. So, he was the first one to the murder site. Oh, so you're already calling it a murder site. Does the Ivory Tower know something we don't? It's not the official position, but I expect a lot of them think it's Torque who stood to benefit the most from the boss's death. And it sounds like he's quick to jump on new opportunities. You don't know him? Yes, but I'd love to meet him and ask him some questions, especially if he was the one who found the body. Okay, sorry about that. I'm quickly reassembling things. I decided to quickly look at my back of my recording because I have a really bad habit of not doing that and ending up with bad recordings. And then I have to upload it because I'm really lazy and I'm not going to re-record it. And I'm like, oh, great. Well, actually, no, that's not true. This one time I didn't upload a whole dialogue. I actually re-recorded that. I just reread it over my footage. That was not fun. I think that was for Coteries. That happened for Coteries. Yeah. I did that for one episode of Coteries. Anyways, back to the point. We're back here. Well, if you're meeting Torque at all, it won't be tonight. He's too busy. I can't remember. You see what I mean? Even a few minutes. I forget the accent. I'm so bad at this. I can remember Julia's, but that's because Julia's is very simple deadpan. I was assigned to investigate. I won't be able to do it properly if I'm not able to question a key witness. I'll arrange for him to see you this week. This week? Aren't the tensions a little too high for delaying an investigation like this? Well, Torque's work is our best shot at making sure they won't get higher, so boo fucking who?
I'm his right-hand woman, though. You got any questions? Direct them to me.
Maybe the two of you should just head to Callahan's office. The discussion here does not seem to be going in the right direction, nor in a particularly interesting one. You're not coming? Torque and you are not the only ones who have their work cut out for them tonight. I trust you can take it from here. And Mia, be easy on her. In slightly different circumstances, I expect the two of you would have ended up on the same side of the barricades.
Uh-huh.
Take care. She heads back to her vehicle.
Well, follow me. I'll show you his place.
Classical wooden smelly. The stuffy air of books, old furniture, and dust covers much of the fragrance of decay. But not all of it. My nose is like, God, I'm still kind of sick. This is the first time I've seen the remains of a vampire who has met his final death, or met final death. I heard stories of really old kindred crumbling to dust, but that's an exaggeration. At least, it didn't happen here. When kindred die, time catches up with them. If you offed me right now, I'd probably turn into an ugly, leaky corpse. But Callahan was well over a century old. It's like looking at a dapper mummy. A desiccated body in a heap of musty clothes. All that is left of the mighty boss, Douglas Callahan, Anarch Baron of New York City, if that's really him. Needless to say, it might be a little hard to establish the time of death, or the cause, especially as his garb doesn't have any obvious damage. What a great place to start. Have you already found anything suspicious?
Nothing you don't see in front of you.
Uh-huh. This door is the only point of entry to the room, right?
Yes, unless you count the windows, but nobody except for Callahan knew how to operate those, and they don't let air or light through.
Metal blinders on the windows facing east. The only modern element of the room, sticking out like a sore thumb. They look automated. Was the door open when Torque got here?
Well, that's the one suspicious thing. It wasn't. It's as if Callahan locked himself from the inside.
A closed room murder, huh? There's some glass scattered on the floor. I point at it. Could that be from the window?
I checked it from outside. It's
What is this accent? What does this voice mean? I'm so sorry. I'm trying to nail it. I can't.
I checked it from outside. It's in perfect condition.
So what's this glass?
I have no idea.
Why does it seem like she has her suspicions, but is remaining uncooperative just because, fuck off, Camarilla scum? I check the next point of interest. A wall safe, surprisingly large. I play with the lock a bit. What's the combination?
It's Callahan's. What makes you think I know?
At least I tried. A desk with nothing but an envelope on it. Nothing inside. I check all the drawers. Every single one has been thoroughly emptied. I don't know what I expected. Is this how the anarchs go around securing crimes? I was supposed to say scurrying crime scenes. Securing crime scenes? Were these emptied before Torque arrived?
I don't know, but I wouldn't accuse him of tampering with evidence if I were you.
Well, thank you. The decor of the room is pretty minimal, so there's not a lot of points of interest that could illuminate the case. I start getting nervous. I point at the painting on the wall. Of course, you have no idea who that is.
Callahan's ancestor, I guess.
I'm out of ideas. Everything I look at feels like another dead end. I'm frustrated. I feel as if I failed this investigation before it has even started. There must be something more. I start walking around trying to find a single clue. Mia just watches me indifferently. Give me anything. Anything, god damn it. Anything. Any shadow blinks in and out of existence near Callahan's remains. I freeze in place. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm afraid to speak up so that I don't startle whatever or whoever that was.
You done here?
Doesn't seem like Mia noticed it. Give me just a moment more. She groans under her nose and goes back to massaging someone on her phone. I wish I could get a massage with the phone. Need to move the mic a little bit. Goes back to messaging someone on her phone. When she does, the shadow appears again. Once again, blink in, blink out. Good. Once again, blink in, blink out. Could something be there? I approach the clothes and start searching them for a clue. Maybe they missed something.
Getting desperate, huh?
Just being thorough.
We've searched the bastard like 3 times. He had nothing of interest on him.
How about this? A small card. Barely noticeable. Reread that. A small card. Barely noticeable. Looking a bit like a shopping list is shoved deep into an almost invisible hole in the fabric. I take it out and show it to Mia.
Huh. You didn't plant that there, did you?
No. Did you?
Shove off. What's on it?
It's a list of 4 names. D'Angelo, Hope, Agathon, Tamika. Ooh, bro. Was that my coterie? No. I think it was just Agathon and Tamika that showed up in my playthrough. Hope didn't show up for me. Any idea what this is about?
Beats me.
She's lying, but I don't care. Tomorrow night I will meet up with Quater and ask him to help me figure it out. Think I'm done here.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Guess she sees me as nothing more but an enemy agent. When will I get to meet with Torque?
If, and that's a big if, he will agree to meet you on a one-to-one basis. Catherine will let you know. He probably won't let a loyal Camarilla lapdog like you see him without her oversight anyway.
Camarilla lapdog, huh? It's a risky play, of course. It might backfire. But maybe I'd benefit if I put my loyalty to the court into question. Let's see. Should I? I don't know. Julia doesn't always have the best ideas, I feel like. I'm not big on the anarchs either, but I'll just say, yeah, you know what? I'm not, the camera's been treating me like shit, so. Camarilla lapdog, please.
Well, aren't you?
Trust me, I'm not the type who bites the hand that feeds her. But the court's favorite pastime is leaving me starved.
Ah, so it's like that, huh?
Yeah. Wait, trait updated. What is that? She studies me carefully. What is that? Is there what was that? Y'all, what was that? Doesn't tell me in the dictionary. I guess I don't know. I just got an achievement though. I'll look at it later.
I will keep that in mind depending on how the situation unfolds.
Good. In the meantime, have a good night.
You too.
It's getting late, or early, depending on how you look at it. Once I leave the Callahan's office, I head straight to Dakota's apartment. I try to sneak by to my bedroom, but she's up waiting for me. How was your night? Shit. Tomorrow. What happened? You look like something the cat dragged in. Tomorrow, I promise. But I'm worried. Don't be. Tomorrow. She gives me a concerned look, then closes her eyes, slumps her shoulders, and frowns. All right. You're the best. I reach my pitch black room and throw myself on the bed. The responsibilities, the stakes, the way I always feel too slow to react properly in these situations. I don't want to think I want to turn off my brain. I want to drift into the void. Into the void. Into the void. Into the void. Okay. Okay, here we go. So now they're going to explain it. Okay. You have received your first trait. Some choices in the game will push Julia towards different ways of thinking, which will have a lasting effect on her throughout the story. You will see a brief pop-up on the top of the screen anytime you receive a new trait. You can always view any unlocked trait in the log screen accessed through the top left icon. Okay. Julia's traits. Loyal only to myself. Okay. Remember that ruthlessness is a mark of a true Lysandra, but you might walk another path before reaching that destination. Okay. Interesting. So this is a bit more in-depth than the last game. Always told you you'd make it big. Get real. These assholes are just using me as a pawn in some stupid fourth-dimensional chess game. As opposed to just keeping you off the chessboard. Don't be a glass-half-empty buzzkill. Watch them make me a scapegoat or something. That would be exciting. I could write a book about living with a 21st century Lee Harvey Oswald. Come on, don't even joke like that. I haven't killed anyone. Julia, honey, neither did Oswald. Yeah, right. I keep forgetting. Stop wriggling, or I'll mess your face up. Sorry. I'm always obedient when she's busy working on my makeup. It's hard to take care of your appearance, especially your face, when you can't even see yourself in the mirror. Not that I've ever been particularly good at it, but Dakota doesn't seem to mind. I'm her goth dress-up doll. Her presence in my unlife is one of the few good things that my sire provided for me before fucking off to Chicago. Normally, I'd be told to find myself a ghoul, but many of our clan, myself included, find the idea of ghouls distasteful. We're cat people, not dog people. We don't want mindlessly faithful servants. We want companions who rely on us, despite having, in theory anyway, the free will not to. The kind of relationship I have with Dakota would normally be a breach of the Masquerade's rules. The rules are different for kindred who are Camarilla, adjacent, even losers like me. Simplifying here, but my sire made it clear that her child would not own slaves, and that was the end of the discussion. To be honest, I think the court mostly agreed to that request because they wanted one more thing to blackmail me with. Just in case. What would you do in my place? If I had to investigate your elite's wrongdoings? Yeah. I'd probably look for those rich fucks' pedophile rings. Look for the assholes who mention pizza suspiciously often. See who has powerful friends in Manhattan jails. Stuff like that. Oh, come on. Nah, I'm serious. Search for the deep rot, and a lot of smaller crimes will get solved in the process. What is it with you and conspiracy theories? What do you mean? You just told me your bosses are having eyes wide shut parties, and suddenly you don't believe in rich people's pedophile rings? I don't know. I don't know if I want to know. My point is, you act as if all the conspiracy theories are real. Like you can't possibly believe all that shit. Half of it doesn't even make sense. Well, you want an interesting answer or a real answer? The real answer should be the more interesting one. She removes her brush from my face to gather her thoughts. Everyone's lost nowadays. Just look at the world. It's drowning in facts that fail to cohere into a single convincing narrative or a story that resonates. The corporate media wants you to believe in empirical thinking, but it always fails to deliver moral or metaphysical truths, and the people desperately lack those. So what do? They turn a conspiracist, and suddenly they're able to navigate the world. And why is that? Because conspiracy theories give them emotional truths that serve as compass? Is Bill Gates trying to insert satanic microchips into my body? Probably not. I hope not. Now, is he a terrible person? No idea, but there's ample evidence that might be the case. It's in his ruthless business strategies, the company he used to keep, the philosophies he follows. People look at him and they feel he's fishy. So when the media present him as a genius or savior, and I post that he wants to put the mark of the beast in my body, they choose to believe me. Because it makes moral, emotional, and metaphysical sense to them. And ultimately, that's what matters most. The end. I think I get it. Wow. I'm 99% sure this is complete bullshit, but I'm buying it. I mean, it totally misrepresents most conspiracy nut jobs. I knew. But it's interesting and fun to think about. So I don't really give a damn if it's the truth. See, that's the idea. You get it. You came up with this monologue yourself. Oh no, I read it on Facebook. Oh, figures. But just make sure vaccines are okay. Well, as far as I know, they don't cause autism. Good to hear. Anywho, I'm done. You're the best. Yeah, considering how many times I've done makeup on a dead body, I probably have enough job experience to be a mortician by now. Now that sounds like an exciting career, but in reality it is probably the most boring thing under the sun. Yeah, I like my corpses talkative, pouty, and self-loathing. Shut up. This carcass will be leaving now. It's got a job to do. Go get him, Tiger! I stan Dakota so hard. You don't even understand. Dakota, I love you. You're amazing. They're gonna kill Dakota. I know. Something horrible is gonna happen to Dakota. Don't do nothing to my Dakota, please. Okay. First thing I need to do. Meet up with Quater tonight and report to him. I hope he knows how to guide me out of this mess. He should have time for me in an hour or two. In the meantime, I suppose it's time to find some, what's the most dehumanizing word I could use here? Nourishment. Quater told me I need to quench my hunger less often if I didn't smoke. It kills you, he said. But to start killing itself, your organism must pretend it's alive. And that uses up precious vitae. Vitae? Vitae. I think it's vitae, not vitae. But I love cigarettes. The way they smell, the way they burn, the hot ash falling from the top, the sound of the lighter, the way they kill you, of course. And I guess I need some tactile connection to who I was back when I was alive. Okay, New York City, guide my steps. Show me which one of your children I should drink up tonight. Who we drinking? Diva's Delight. Diva's Delight, a fitting name for a kiss addict audacious enough to openly pitch her unique taste to those in the know. I'm not in a clubbing mood, but since I need to feed, might as well give that rumor a shot. Samara is asking me to meet her, if not for the ongoing celebrations, the patrician would... Sorry, I'm got so much congestion in my sinuses. Would prove an odd choice for a secret rendezvous. Here's hoping she could provide some useful insight into the case. Okay. The note left at my old dead drop point reads, Bunny as a reporter. Shit, could it be Woods? Long time no see. What does one do when the ghost of Christmas past knocks on her door? So it looks like the only place to eat would be Diva's Delight? Or I guess I could eat this dude, maybe? Let's do this one. Honestly, sweeping through Evergreen Cemetery in search of Nigel Woods was the last thing I expected to be doing tonight. And yet, here I am. The past refuses to let me out of its grip, even for a few days. Hell, a black limo almost ran me over my way here. I just can't get a break, can I? It takes me less than a minute to find Nigel. He's standing next to the gravestone of John Bunny, one of the most famous actors of the 1910s. Why there exactly? Well, the man is paranoid, which is why we were forced to come up with such an unpredictable method of choosing rendezvous points. It had to be ambiguous enough to seem incidental to a casual onlooker, but reasonably uncomplicated so that this dumbass couldn't mess it up. So we decided on silent film actors. Whenever he wanted to meet, he left me a note with an obscure movie title. Then I only had to look up who starred in it and make my way to their final resting place. Yeah, maybe it feels somewhat goofy and unnecessary, but it's also been fun. And ridiculing Woods for his paranoia would be a classic case of the pot calling the kettle black. There he is, idling away his time on his smartphone, rapidly swiping left with noticeably increasing frustration. Too many girls who actually know what they want from life in a row. Nigel? Don't worry, I'm definitely not that type. When he sees me, he reacts as if he's just seen a ghost, a regular comedian. The man halts a few feet away from me and crosses his arms, giving me a dirty look.
What the hell are you up to these days, Swinsky? Too busy for your old pal? You never write? You never call?
He butts on this completely unconvincing frown, but quickly loses it, bursting into sincere laughter.
Shit, Jules, not gonna lie. It's good to see you. Looking good, gal. I mean, you're still all doom and gloom, and even paler than usual, but I always had a soft spot for your boating ass. Come here, give your uncle a hug.
I've worked with Nigel long enough for us to settle on some basic nonverbal signals for improved communication, by which I mean signaling him to get his shit together. I'm surprised to find that it's still an instinctual thing, as if my mortal body adapted to it so well in the past that it reacts the same way even now that it's dead.
All right, I get it.
And I think we used to... Cut to the chase, Woods. This wasn't a social invitation, and I only have so much patience for your innuendos. What do you want?
Still quick to get right to the point, huh? Very well. I've been trying to put together a piece on some particularly unseemly business in the deep web. One of my plugs pointed me in the direction of Double Spiral, saying that...
Double Spiral? I'm not even surprised that name keeps coming up again and again. It still kind of haunts me, of course. I made sure it would. I still keep tabs on Montgomery from time to time, constantly reliving the 16 months I slaved away for nothing. It might have been just another part of Karen's hazing ritual, but I have a feeling that even if that wasn't the case, Brian would still be told to kill the story.
Some dirt on this internet whiz goes by the name of Hope. She supposedly has some close dealings with the Montgomery clan. Ever heard of her?
Not an expert on the concept. Can't say I'm familiar with the person in question either. I'm lying, of course. Feigning apathy, the name strikes a chord, being one of the 4 jotted down on Callahan's list. Coincidence? Waiter insisted I shouldn't believe in these.
As far as I can tell, she's mostly involved in some kinky porno stuff involving scopophilia. Scopophilia? Okay. Body maiming, lots of blood, shit's borderline occult. My cover's blown, though. I think someone's after me. Still, I've got a few useful leads, which I'd happily exchange for some Benjamins before I go AWOL. Interested?
Knowing him, those few leads are completely worthless. But with his luck, he might really have strayed onto dangerous waters. What's useless to him might prove useful to me. If I play along, he won't even know I'm no longer in this line of work. Did you expect me to buy your intel sight unseen? No dice, Nigel. Break it down for me. I won't screw you over. You know me better than that. He sighs audibly, sizing me up and down. After a brief moment, he raises his voice again.
All right, what do you want to know?
How did you get this info? Maybe start with how you got involved in this mess in the first place and where you got your info. Nigel visibly hesitates. When he starts talking, it's like he's been eager to get this off his chest for a while. A weird side job. A hush-hush kind of deal. Had him involved with a shady guy going by the online handle Leaky Gut Syndrome. Curiously, he was also asked to offer up a bag of blood as part of the deal. Specific blood type, too. He found that weird, started digging and finally came across the name Hope. Upon digging some more, he started feeling somebody breathing down his neck. And that's how he got here. So what about that Hope girl? Got something worth pursuing?
Maybe. She's an enigma, a total fucking mystery. The only thing I'm certain of is that she exists and enjoys streaming for an exclusive audience. Supposedly, she's into cryptocurrencies. You know, those Bitcoin things. I can never make any sense of it. It's a scramble, I know, but I promise you that somewhere within lies a juicy story for someone like you to pursue. Hell, I have a hunch that if we join forces, we might really hit it big this time. Thoughts?
This poor idiot. This intel of his sounds like a cheap pulp novel. No one in their right mind is going to pay a dime for it. It'll ruin his credibility, if he still has any. If he persists in spreading this bullshit, it will probably completely neuter his ability to harm us eventually. But if the Ivory Tower gets wind of his activities, Quater is going to get involved. He's going to ask questions, and the answers will get both me and Nigel in trouble.
You're awfully quiet, Jules. Speak up, you're creeping me out.
We're gonna dominate him. I'm sorry, Nigel. Just a bit, but still. What? He freezes in place as I gaze into his eyes. There is no blood trafficking or secret turf wars going on in New York City. You have nothing on Double Spiral, and there is no hope. You made all of it up. The idea you have instead is a non-fiction book about toxic masculinity. You're going to do your research, and you're going to pitch the book to everyone as a real expert on the subject. He stands there completely perplexed, suppressing layers of rewritten memories. With his mouth wide open, stuck in a bizarre pose, he looks like a total goofball. I can't help but snort. John Bunny wouldn't compare, especially if our guy really follows his programming and a comedy of errors ensues. He's going to recover in a couple minutes, but I'm not sticking around. This trick has taken its toll on me. I can only keep my fingers crossed that it sticks. Best to bury the memory of this meeting along with the rest of my past. Alright, now we're gonna eat.
Let's go eat.
No blood, no matter how exquisite it is, worth suffering through this noise. Something terrible must have happened to the previous DJ. It had to be sudden and unexpected for them to hire this amateur under the wire. Zero ability to read the crowd, no sense of flow, as if that constant flashing wasn't migraine-inducing enough by itself. Not that I remember how an ordinary headache feels. I know the hunger, though, which is why I'm here tonight. A purple-haired girl bumps into me, head down, tears flowing down her cheeks, hands trembling. As much as I'd understand it, I don't think it's the guy at the turntables that made her like this. Oof.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
She bolts before I can say a single word. Well, who am I to blame her? A tactical retreat probably felt like a good idea. The trace of cheap booze in every potential vessel is faint, but ever present. At this point, the smell is all I'm getting. Come to think of it, I can barely remember how alcohol tastes. Maybe I should remind myself. Nah, that's dumb. Need a drink. had to get a drink there. Continuing. But the bar is pretty much free of people at the moment. I get closer and take a peek at the drinks menu. These are some goofy fucking names, especially from a kindred's perspective. Got the Bloody Margaret. The bartender brings me a large glass garnished with a celery stick and filled with something that looks more like a veggie shot than a gin-based cocktail. I'm far from thrilled. Fuck it. Here goes. I chug it down in one go. It tastes like canned tomatoes, someone opened and left rotting for a decade. Something tells me I'm gonna regret it soon. The music abruptly stops just as I step away from the bar. I can't see the booth, but the crowd's reaction tells me all I need to know. Looks like we have a new DJ. The vibe immediately improves. Hallelujah. But pleasant moments never last. Some well-worn dude on the wrong side of 40 decides to hit me up. Our eyes meet for a brief moment. Slightly too late for me to maneuver him. Strangely, there's no lust in his gaze, and yet he seems like a predator closing in on its prey. Shit, could he be the rumored diva's delight? A kiss addict clocking me as a bloodsucker. Well, how come you're here all alone, sweetheart? I can't pinpoint exactly what it is, but there's something irksome in the way he carries himself. As he approaches me, I begin to feel fatigued, like there's a sudden drop in atmospheric pressure. I don't know. I don't think he's the diva's delight. I'm gonna ignore him. I turn my back to him, hoping he'll get the message. He doesn't. I can feel his eyes burning holes in my skull. Sure enough, when I look again, he's still there. I feel spiders crawling up my spine. Is there something wrong? Here, let me... Hands off, asshole. Man, I don't want to do either, but... We're gonna dominate him. I don't think we should do potence. I can barely focus on his eyes, but he freezes in place for a moment. Hey, Stallion. How about you go bother that guy? He struggles with my chaotic command and gives me an unsettling look. But in the end, he seems to do what I wanted him to do. He approaches some meathead who immediately turns hostile. The meathead's first punch breaks the guy's nose. I don't wait to see the second one. As if meeting that asshole didn't strain me enough. And there's an acrid, I don't know what that word is, so sorry again. Sometimes I just don't know what a word is, so I'm gonna mispronounce it. Feeling rises in my gut, instantly making me nauseous. I barely make it to the nearest empty lounge before I begin violently throwing up. For a minute straight, I spray the couch with the remains of that wretched cocktail. It's not a pleasant sight. I get a hold of myself as soon as my stomach empties. Shit, Julia. Your life has had more than its fair share of avoidable embarrassments. Is it necessary for your unlife to follow suit? Time to bail and not look back. Right before I reach the exit, the purple-haired girl from earlier bumps into me once again. This time I know it's not coincidental.
Wait, please.
She seems startled, but gives me a bleeding look.
I saw what you did to that man. Are you one of them?
What are you talking about? Who's them? She bares her teeth and taps the side of her neck. Oh, I get it. So you're the diva's delight? She blushes innocently like I just caught her stealing cookies.
Yes, it sounds silly, I know, but I thought it would attract some of some of your kind. I've always been told I taste good. Would you like to try?
Wait, Is this the girl from the first game? Oh, because like, yeah, no, it has to be because Sophie or whatever from last game used her a lot, and she's addicted to the kiss. But I didn't drink from her with my with my guy, because I was like, no, he's not gonna do that. He's not into that. But I guess she's just wandering now because she's so addicted to it. Damn, that's kind of sad, isn't it? She looks at me the same way a junkie who hasn't had his hit for a while looks at a syringe. You know too much. There's no way you don't have a patron of some sort. Her eyes tear up again.
I do, but maybe I don't. I don't know anymore. He shows up whenever he wants, then disappears for weeks. I don't even know his name. We were supposed to be in here tonight, but...
I guess he didn't show up. The girl keeps talking. Now that she's found somebody new to open up to, any instinct she might have had to remain secretive is gone. Makes you wonder who thought it was a good idea to breach the masquerade for her.
Before him, I used to have a caregiver. She was one of the divas, too. She was exceptional, noble. I think she cared about me in a way. She always complimented the way I taste. Would you like a try?
She clings to my arm like I am Jesus Christ and Kurt Cobain at the same time. Descended from heaven exclusively to turn her misery to bliss. I can't help but feel some disdain.
Please, I promise you won't be disappointed.
I know I won't be. I'm too hungry for that. But I also like to pretend I'm something better than hungry from time to time. Yeah. Hunger gets the better of me, but somehow I don't mind. This is what she wants, isn't it? A quick look around. Nobody's paying attention. Why would they? We're just two random girls who seem to be into each other. I gently grab the back of her head and put my lips closer to her neck. She visibly trembles with excitement. As I bite down, her body softens, and I drink, savoring each sip. She really tastes incredible, like an unfulfilled promise. Sweet, sweet innocence. As soon as I'm done, she loses her footing, weakened, but undoubtedly relieved. I help her sit down on the floor. She smiles at me, joy glinting in her eye.
Thank you. That was... I really needed that. My name's...
No talk. Just rest for a while. I leave her alone in this state of bliss. She doesn't seem to mind. Looks like I did the right thing. Right? I leave the booming sounds of the club behind me and get on with my night. Alright, it's about time I head to see Quater. Mighty kind of him to arrange a meeting in the place that's most convenient for me. D'Angelo. Oh. Ooh, this is an interesting picture. I think, though, for now, I'm going to stop. I need a break. Thank you for watching. I'm hoping to record the next episode tomorrow. I'm going to edit this one as soon as I finish turning this off. So thank you for watching. Please like if you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment if you have any critiques or if you want to just talk about what's happening in the story. That's cool too. And subscribe to my channel if you enjoy this type of content. I like playing these types of games, novels and RPGs mostly. So yeah. Have a good one, and I'm sorry about this really, really late delay in uploads, and I'm hoping to hop back on my horse and get going again, back to work with me. Alright, take care, everyone.
Maggots love you, but not as much as I do. Love, your malicious corpse.